Hey there, this is a video for Project Dalek members, just a quick chat about the batteries that I'm intending to use for my Dalek. So this is my Dalek base here, which is now completed, and the only things I used off the original wheelchair, which was an Invacare Mirage wheelchair, was the two motors, the motor controller, which is under that seat, and the joystick. Everything else off of that wheelchair is now in a heap in my garage, and I've binned the rest, including the wiring harness. The only thing that I did have a problem with is these things, which is the batteries that come with it. Now these batteries, I wanted to come up with a different solution really than using these, and there's a number of reasons why I didn't want to use these batteries. The main reason is that they are so heavy. They're 13 kilograms each, which weight, so that's 26 kilograms total combined weight. That's one reason. The other reason is that they're not very good at cycling or charging, so you don't get that many cycles or charges out of them. They don't tend to last very long, especially on projects where you're going to run them down pretty low before recharging them. So that's another reason. There's another reason as well, in the fact that the wheelchair needs 24 volts. So to get 24 volts out of these 12 volt batteries, you have to wire them in series, which means you've got to have more wiring and fuses to try and protect the circuits. It's very tricky to get them in and out of the Dalek because they're quite cumbersome. They're not very easy to charge up because you can't really charge them through the wheelchair port like you normally would do, and also these are only 30 amp hours, so you only get 30 amp per hour out of these batteries, so they're not that powerful as far as wheelchair batteries go. And obviously the more power you need, the bigger the batteries get and the heavier they get, so you're in a vicious circle really. So I wanted an alternative that's going to give me a good power output, a good voltage, and something that's going to last and be value for money. And the thing that I found is this battery here. Now this is a lithium ion battery, and it's from a company called Top Caddy, who are based in the UK. And there's a number of reasons why I chose this particular battery from this particular company, and I'm just going to quickly run through what they are. Now the first thing that was important to me was the power. Now this battery is a 55 amp hour battery, so that's almost double what the two gel batteries were going to give me. The other advantage is it's 24 volts straight out of the box, so you haven't got to wire anything in series. It's pre-done and it comes at 24 volts, so that's a really good advantage. The other advantage is that it's got a handy carry strap, so you can move it in and out of the Dalek relatively easy. And also it comes with a battery gauge on top. Now these are one of the only batteries in the UK currently with this gauge on top, and it's really useful. So this is telling me that it's giving me 97% at 28.9 volts. That's what it's putting out at the moment. It also comes with this pre-wired Anderson SB50 plug, so you can just plug that straight into your wheelchair controller or your Dalek wiring, whatever you want to do. And the guy that sells these, he'll put a grey plug, a black plug or a red plug, depending on what you need. Now the thing that I haven't mentioned, which was the biggest plus with this battery, is that it weighs just under 10 kilograms. So 10 kilos as opposed to 26 kilos is a massive weight saving, and that's one of the main reasons why I got this particular battery. Excuse me. Especially for things like Daleks or model making or ride on railways or robots where you need to get the batteries in and out really quickly, this thing is absolutely perfect for that. And as you can see on my Dalek, I've got this handmade sort of battery tray with a foam base. It sits in there, it plugs straight into my motor feed there via the Anderson plug. And then on the other side, I've put these little power pole connectors. You can just about see that there. And I've taken a little feed off the back of this battery here, these little feeds here, into a power pole plug just to plug straight in. So that's the battery I'm going to use. There's a lot of pros for this battery. Another thing that's really good about it is you get about 1,000 cycles out of this battery, whereas opposed to the gel batteries where you probably only get about half of that if you're lucky. So you can charge this thing over 1,000 times and it's not a problem at all. And the other good thing about it is Daleks don't always go out very often, so this battery is more than happy to just sit around for 6 months, providing it's fully charged and there's no degradation to the battery whatsoever. It's quite happy to just sit there for 6 months and not even be used, and there's no way that a gel battery would cope with that. They like to be used. Okay, so now let's just move on to the only negative side with this battery, and you need to be sitting down for this because the cost of these two gel batteries, you can pick these up on the internet around about £70 to £120, depending on where you buy them, depending on the brand, the quality and so on. So all in, you'll probably be able to get a set of these two batteries for about 150 quid. Some people can get them cheaper than that. The cost of this battery, you need to be sitting down here. This battery was 560 quid. Now, that may seem like a lot of money, but you've got to put a value on certain things when you look at this. I bought this battery as a long-term investment. It's going to outlast the gel batteries by about 4 to 5 times, so there's a saving straight away. Also, I'm not going to use my Dalek or projects all the time, so this is perfect for that, because if I start leaving gel batteries lying around, they are just going to get ruined. And that's exactly what happened to the two gel batteries I've got. There was nothing wrong with them when I bought them, but because it's taken me so long to build the Dalek, they've actually just basically died on me. They're not holding a charge. So I suppose when you're considering your battery, you've got to think about the pros and cons. And for me, the pros of having a battery that's really powerful, really light, it's going to charge up loads and loads of times, and it's quite happy to be left just sat there doing nothing. That's perfect for me. The other thing I didn't mention as well is you will need a charger for this battery, and it has to be a lithium charger. This particular battery comes supplied with a 15 amp charger, so that's quite a high powered charger for this battery, and it charges up in about 2 to 3 hours maximum. That's from fully flat. So I suppose if you run it down to 50%, you're looking at about an hour and a half to charge this battery. So again, when you're out and about doing shows and stuff, that is a huge advantage because you can power this battery back up relatively quickly. Anyway, I hope this is helpful. If you've got any questions, just contact me below. Thanks.